Thank you for the love. What do you have in common with the Mona Lisa? So this is what I discovered. I discovered when I was teaching a series called Dreamers. And if you want to hear the part 1 of the series, you can go to my bio and tap the link in the bio and you can listen to it. Hey everybody, good morning, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing, those of you all who have shared. Really quick scope. This is what you have in common with the Mona Lisa. So all of us are made unique and different. We know this. All of us are made as individuals. None of us have the same DNA. None of us have the same fingerprint. And did you know that it says in the Word of God, it says in the Bible, and I'm a pastor, I believe in the Word of God. And so it says in the Bible, in Ephesians, it talks about that we are God's workmanship. And one different translation says that we are created as God's masterpiece. And so check this out, as we are God's workmanship, as we are his masterpiece, that means that we are a one of a kind. There's nobody else in the world like you. There's nobody else in the world like me. But check this out. What is our definition of masterpiece? What do we think of when we think masterpiece? Well, the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is the painting by Leonardo da Vinci that is one of the most celebrated, one of the most talked about, one of the most inspiring, one of the most sung about pieces of art in the world and in history. It's something that inspires a lot of people. And do you have your own ministry? I do not. I actually serve my father's ministry, but I am youth pastor at Go Hard for Christ Youth Ministry. So kind of, but no. So it's under the church. However, you are made as a masterpiece. And so we think about the Mona Lisa. And did you know this? I'm going to tell you what you have in common with the Mona Lisa in just a moment, but I'm going to rock your world. Did you know that if you look at the Mona Lisa very closely, hey, what's up everybody? If you look at the Mona Lisa very closely, I have a picture of it right here, okay? So if you look at it closely, the Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. You see it? Right there. Where are her eyebrows? I don't see any eyebrows there. So the Mona Lisa, you can go look it up yourself. The Mona Lisa was painted and they said, oh, it's so wonderful, it's so great, it's such a work of art, but she's missing eyebrows. She has a very obvious defect. I don't know if it was a birth defect. Hey, Natasha, I don't know if it was a birth defect or maybe the artist took artistic license, but she didn't have any eyebrows. But check this out. It didn't make her any less of a masterpiece. It didn't make her any less valuable. It didn't make her any less inspiring. Did you get that? And so as we are God's masterpiece, just because we feel like we have some defects and we have some faults and we have some things that are not exactly perfect about us, it doesn't mean that we are any less valuable to God or in life or in society. Doesn't mean that we're any less valuable. Now, there might be things that we need to work on. Hey, we're all working on stuff. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We're all working on it. But don't think that your defects are a mistake by God. God doesn't make mistakes. He's not the author of confusion. And he certainly didn't forget to add in everything that you needed to be successful in life inside of you. You have all different kind of potential. And yeah, we all have our different flaws and issues and whatever we call it. But I want to let you know that just because the Mona Lisa didn't have any eyebrows and she had that slight defect, it didn't make her any less valuable. It didn't stop anybody from praising it as a masterpiece. It didn't stop you from learning about it as a kid and saying, oh, the Mona Lisa, yeah, by Leonardo da Vinci. It's a masterpiece. Now, check this out. A lot of you, I'm guessing 90 to 95% of you, never knew that she had no eyebrows. You never knew it. Why did you not know it? Because when you are being presented with something that's called a masterpiece, you're not trying to inspect for every little defect and insufficiency. You are just taking it in as a masterpiece and you're taking in its value. And check this out. A lot of times we think that people are examining our defects when really people are so happy, so thrilled, and so encouraged by just who you are and what you have to offer the world. And they're not focused on your defects. A lot of people aren't focused on your defects. And sometimes what happens is in life, we can get so consumed by our own defects, our own faults, the way we look, the way we don't look, the way we dress or don't dress, the way we smile, the way we talk, our sense of humor, maybe our lack of sense of humor, what we can do well, our skills, the skills that we don't have. I can do music well, sports well, I'm a good talker, educator, communicator. I can't do this or I can't do that. I stutter when I speak. I don't really look at people. I look down. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Just focus on the gifts that God has inside of you. And if you stop focusing on the defects, you can let the value of yourself as a masterpiece continue to be put on display without diminishing your value. Now, did Leonardo da Vinci go around to everybody in his block and in his neighborhood and all the museums and everybody else that wanted to publish his work and say, well, hold on, it's got some defects. I don't have any eyebrows, so I don't think it's that good. It might not be good enough. You might not like it. Okay, can you just look past the fact that it doesn't have any eyebrows, please? No, he wasn't going around doing that. I'm sure he probably took artistic pride in his work, but he wasn't going around pointing out every little defect that he had in his artwork to everybody who thought it was great. Stop pointing out your defects to people who are trying to encourage you. Sometimes we have to learn as humans to stop trying to point out all of our defects to everybody before they notice them. So it's almost like if I can point out my defect before you notice it, then you won't come down on me about having this defect when you notice it. And that's not it. You're diminishing your own value. And you know what's even more dangerous is not only are you diminishing your value to others, but you continue to diminish your value to yourself. You remind yourself that maybe I'm not as valuable. Maybe I'm not as special. Let me focus more on the things I don't have than the things I do have. Stop that mess. Quit it. Cut it out. What you have in common with the Mona Lisa is you are just as much as a masterpiece as that painting is, even more so, because you are human, because you are actual living being. This is just a painting on a canvas, but you're a living, breathing human being that has been put on this earth by God to do something special and unique and awesome. Stop focusing on your defects. Focus on the things that you do have, what you can do. Don't make excuses, make it happen. You got it. You can do it. Keep pushing forward. That's my word for today for you. So that's what you have in common with the Mona Lisa. So don't focus on those defects. Focus on the things that God has put inside of you. You're going to go far. I believe it. So if this encouraged you, please make sure to share this with somebody else. I'm glad that you guys are motivated. Thank you. I see all of these comments. Will you be speaking at Missions and Marketplace? I will not be speaking at the conference, but I'll be around. I'll be helping and serving as usual. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys logging on. Thank you so much for all the hearts. Please share this quick scope with somebody else. I really believe that it will encourage them. A lot of times we have a tendency to focus on all of the things that we have wrong with us, but God just says, if you just submit to me, then I can help encourage you through those things. And he can help us grow in our weaknesses, but he can more so live through us to be able to establish his purpose in this earth through our lives, and through our purpose, through our gifts and through our talents. And so I believe that you can do it, and I think that you are on the right road. So share this with somebody else if you're not already following. My name is David Winston. Please make sure to follow so you don't miss any of the Becoming the Best You scopes. I am so deeply tied to helping you become successful. Thank you.